Welcome to the channel then guys. Today we're looking at different scale RC cars. So first off, this is a 28 scale, this is a WL Toys 284131. This is a 16th scale, this is a Traxxas E-Revo VXL 116. This here is an HPR Savage XS Flux, that's a 1/12th, and this is my Maverick Quantum Flux MT, and this is a 1/10 scale. Now you'll be forgiven for thinking that of all these cars, this is the best because it's biggest, but I don't think that is in fact the case today. So we're going to break down today what all the good different scales are good at and what they're bad at. Now we're going to start with the 28 scale. This is the WL Toys 284131. This is my son's FTX Hooligan Junior. Both these cars cost around £50. They're nice and cheap. They both do around 20 miles an hour, although this one's much quicker to accelerate. Outside, they're not particularly fun, but drifting this thing around the kitchen on a rainy day really is fun. And another good thing to note about the smaller scale cars, the 28 scale cars, is that they're really easy to store. You don't need big shelving, you don't need a big storage box. You can stick them pretty much anywhere. You can bail them into a backpack when you go for a day out with your missus. So the 28 scale cars I think really are fun, and they're compact and they're cheap, but of course they're not going to give you the big thrills of the bigger scale and quicker RC cars. Now these two are 16 scale cars. This is an FTX Tracer, and this is my son's Traxxas E-Revo VXL. Now this, I've said in another video, is one of the best cars for a beginner, and especially for a young child. This is the brushed version, so it's not particularly quick. It is cheap. These are about 65-66 quid brand new posted, and the brushless version's around 105 posted, so again, not ridiculously expensive at all. And they're tough and they're fun, and it's easy for young hands to get used to the steering controls and the throttle controls. I rate these highly, but a few months down the line and these will become a bit boring. So my son upgraded him from the FTX to the Traxxas E-Revo, and this thing is a little weapon. We've had this on 2S so far. I reckon it's doing about 35 miles an hour, and it wheelies everywhere, and it backflips, and it does everything the bigger stuff does, still on a 2S LiPo. This thing's wicked, and again, just like the smaller scale stuff, you can put one of these in a backpack if you're going out for the afternoon for a walk somewhere with a battery in your controller, and while you're out and about, have a nice little 10-15 minute little play. These are brilliant. I really rate the 16 scale stuff. Now this is my latest purchase, and it's a 12 scale truck, but with 10 scale electrics, 10 scale wheels and tyres. Again, a bit more compact than a 10 scale, but tougher than my other 10 scale truck, and pretty quick as well. On 2S it's doing 30, maybe 35 miles an hour. On 3S, HPI claims this will do 65 miles an hour. Now, this doing 65 miles an hour, I can't wait to see that. I'm going to order a 3S LiPo for it this week and get a video for this on 3S. Fun factor wise, I mean, at a skate park, this thing's wicked. That was one of my previous videos. I thought on a skate park, this is one of the best bashes for under 300 quid. It really is good, but unlike the bigger 10 scale stuff on long, wet grass, it's not quite as quick compared to it being on road. It does struggle in a few areas like that, where the 10 scale stuff doesn't struggle as much. But unlike the 16 scale, it's not quite small enough to put into a backpack either. So, what do we do with this one? In the video, I did recommend it as a skate park basher. I don't think it's a very good grass speed runner. Not a very good grass jumper, I wouldn't say. Not on 2S anyway. And again, you can't put it in a backpack. It's a bit too big for that with the controller and a battery bag as well. But it is a bit smaller than a 10 scale, so if you've got limited space, you could fit a couple of these on a shelf where you can only get 1 or 2 10 scales. So, good or bad bits about this one. Now this is the first brushless RC car I bought. I bought it last year. It got me back into the hobby after having a couple of nitros. And this thing is wicked fun. It's one of the cheaper ones here, so the Quick 16 scale, that's more expensive than this. And the Savage 12 scale is more expensive than this. And this will do about 30 mile an hour on 2S, about 45 mile an hour on 3S. And because it's bigger, you get bigger jumps, you get more impressive backflips, etc, etc. The only thing is, it is harder to store because it's big and heavy as well. It breaks more when it hits the deck. And on top of that, you can't just put it into a backpack when you're going somewhere. You know, you've really got to plan to take it with you. But these are wicked cars. At the end of the day, whatever scale you go for, you're going to have fun, but the fun is different. The moral of the story is really, you can have fun with any size RC car as long as it's the right one. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. You guys take care.